are made out of Mexico. So.
Oh, okay.
But even still, for whatever reason, it's difficult to get the simplest of things, and it's so aggravating when you have to bounce between a couple of distributors just to get,
right,
wholesale apparel. It drives you crazy. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Hey, we're live. We're live. Come on in, everybody. Apex Comics is in the house. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Indie Volt. Good morning, Apex. Good morning. Daphne and myself are here. Marvi says, have fun this weekend.
Hey.
I'll see you later on the replay. Have a great day.
Congratulations on reaching goal, Marvi.
Absolutely, Marvi. Congratulations. I haven't backed that book yet. I need to get in there and back that, Marvi. It's not that I haven't wanted to. A lot of times it's time and finances.
It's just hard to keep up with everything. And also, now that conventions are coming back, we're kind of distracted.
Oh, more than distracted. It's I wasn't planning on all of this, but it's okay. Gotta do something. The comic book black belts in the house should probably send Russ a link this morning. Russ, if you're up for a link, I can send you a link. Joe this morning. Good morning, Joe. Cool morning, new Joe. Coffee. New coffee. Yes, the coffee is on, folks. Come on in. Come on in. We see you out there in the hall. Looking forward to this weekend, even though I don't have a proper display. So folks will have to.
Just being able to go out. I mean, it's like I had Eternal Con last weekend, and it was kind of weird going. It's like really, it's amazing like how many like phobias and stuff settled in after a year and a half. But you get over it really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, people. Like, oh, wait, I'm outside. Yeah, but it was a pretty good show. It was nice. It was nice to just kind of like get back into the groove again, and
see people you haven't seen in years. Literally.
Yeah, no, people that we haven't that we've only seen on live streams. And seeing them in person was kind of weird because, like, oh, wow, you're not a figment of my imagination. I really was talking to somebody.
Yeah, Trico is in the chat saying, so, Daphne, I've been wanting to pick your brain about a new show as our resident furry expert. You're our resident furry expert, Daphne.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. LOL, have you seen the Netflix show Sexy Beasts? If so, what are your thoughts?
Wow. Okay. No, this is the first time I'm hearing about that. So like the other show that people keep asking me if I watch is Beastars. And I don't know that one either. So yeah, it's just that I've just been so busy. It's like I haven't been able to catch up on all the TV shows all you kids are watching right now.
all you kiddies.
Yeah, all you kids. All you kids are watching all these shows I'm not watching.
Haven't quite caught up to their new streaming services I hear about. Yeah.
I know, for real. Really.
Is that on the nets or is that on something you got to pay for?
Is that on the Hulus?
It's on the Hulus. I haven't been over to the Hulus lately. I've been meaning to get over there. One of my when FX was running inexpensively on my local cable service, they had a series called Snowfall that I was really into. That was pretty good about the advancement of crack in the urban communities, thanks to the CIA.
Oh yeah, really, yeah.
It's rather interesting to watch.
Hey, look, the Contras were not going to fund themselves, okay?
No, that's the whole thing. Wow. Just crazy. Pour it on. Apex Comics says. Empyrean Vol in the house. Empyrean, how are you? Good morning, Indie Volters. Starting to work on a story of yours, buddy. It's looking it over here for the second issue. I just did the second issue cover for Hero Bot yesterday. I mean, the paste ups on it. Let the cup runneth over. The cup never empties. Never empties.
My cup is running over, that's for sure.
Good morning, Trico and Empyrean. Yeah. Sugar's in the house. Sugar Chris.
Sugar.
Hey, Sugar. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to hear from you. Empyrean says, hey there. Sugar says, I was going to go to sleep, but I think I'll stay up after all. There you go.
Well, hopefully we won't lull you back to sleep. So.
We probably will. Apex says, "Hail sugar." Okay, everybody. It's just Daphne and myself this morning. Varian might join us, but the last time I knew, he was totally in the dark without electricity and had no idea when it was going to get turned back on. Everything seems to be happening to Varian all at once. It's crazy. He loses his internet for a bit. He loses his electricity. Has his gas inhibitor or whatever pop and blow out his hot water heater. It's just everything all at once.
No, that's the worst.
It's just
tankless,
been crazy,
friend. Invest in tankless.
Yep. Nita says, "Good morning, guys." Nita, aren't you on the road? Good morning,
yeah,
Nita.
She's on the road right now. She's
doing
on the road
okay.
to Megacon. Trying to beat out a
road
hurricane. Yeah.
Sounds like a bad Hope Crosby road movie. Yes.
Yeah.
On the road to Megacon.
Uh-huh.
Somebody will do that eventually.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to run the opening. Then maybe we'll stop pouring coffee. Maybe we won't. We don't know. And then we'll get on with something of a show. Let me check my Facebook here. I am going to send Mr. Leach a link, if I can find him here. There he is right there. All right, everybody, we're going to run the opening and then we'll get on with the show. We hope you'll hang on. This is the Breakfast Buzz for the 12th of August, 2021. Let me see here. I'm not sure if we're supposed to run our sponsor this morning or not, but we'll do that. And the coffee is still on.
Well.
No, here we go.
There we go. There we are. You can tell it's early in the morning.
There we are. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We are here, and it's early Thursday morning on the 12th of August, 2021, for the Breakfast Buzz. Mr. Leach also in the house. Here we go. Let's see.
Oh,
boom.
hello. Good morning.
There you are. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, afternoon. How's it?
Afternoon to you. Yes. Good afternoon.
That's true. Yeah, I always keep forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drink coffee all day at some point.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Breakfast Buzz. I am your host, Randy Zimmerman. I've been a long-time alternative and independent comics creator, producer, and publisher. I'm currently working on bringing Aero Comics 4.0 back out to and available to retailers with 4 products a month available through exclusively through Liberty Entertainment Distributors, ledg.us. For more information on that, you can go over and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have a link tree that has links to all of those for Aero Comics 4.0, HeroBot Zero, Luke Stone's Hybrids, Indie Revolt as a regular direct market comic, and Only Death Can Save Us by Russ Leach.
You know it.
Are currently available, and then second issues of Indie Revolt and Luke Stone's Hybrids will be available next month, as well as or hopefully later this month, as well as, now that it's the 12th, as well as the first issues of Calico of Shard and Paragon. Mm-hmm. Both books I'm very excited to see out
and
to get in people's hands.
And you should, as somebody who got a sneak peek at Paragon, all I can say is that book threw me for a loop.
Did you like it?
And it was, I did. I really did. It sucked me in. It sucked me in, sir.
It's a modern superhero story.
Yeah,
about somebody who suddenly has powers and what happens when
this is saying a lot for somebody who's not into that genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like going through it, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm in.
Well, Paragon's talking to somebody at a home base through a radio, and that the whole book is a conversation between the two of them, and really it's a statement about what a hero is, and what would actually happen in like modern society if somebody could actually leap tall buildings in a single bound and run faster than a locomotive and only a bursting shell can penetrate their skin. So.
And the thing is, but at the same time, it does have that old school like vibe. Like
Thank you.
It's not right. It's not a complicated
I appreciate
story.
that. No,
and I'm not saying that as a diss or anything.
And it's not taken that way. No, right. I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's very like it reminds me of the comics my father would talk about.
There you go.
And it was just like very exciting to kind of see it like in like a modern sensibility, because like now it's like everybody wants to be all overwrought and complicated with the story and all that. And, when in the end, it all boils down to this is a guy with superheroes, with superpowers. I mean, it's like it's that simple. But everyone wants to make their stuff all deep and stuff, and that whole reality and this, that, and the other thing. Well, and this one, and this story is just like it's just fun, man.
Thank you. That's the whole idea behind doing that.
Right?
Story.
It
really is. I can't wait to see it in print and get people's reaction off of it. Because
and that's the thing. I mean, this is a book you could literally give to like anybody, and it's like, and they'll have a good time with it.
It's the whole idea. It's exactly the whole idea that you could give it to anybody and have them enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah. And it's really, you get superpowers like that. You get a choice. You have the choice, that just like they say with Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. No, it's really with great powers, you get a great choice. You can use it for good or bad, or you can hide it. It's or not use it at all. There's a series of choices, and our hero or heroes end up deciding what to do with it. So it's a lot of fun.
But because a book like Calico of Shard, it's like I take that for granted. That's like, okay, that's going to be my thing. It's like, I could like, so it's like, I already like know, that, okay, I know I'm going to enjoy this book. But that one, I wasn't expecting it at all.
Oh, and you're having fun.
That's part of the fun. And I think that's part of the fun with it.
Cool. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that a lot. It's important, I think, anymore, especially with comics and with the art form, that you have to do books out there that are accessible to as large an audience as possible. That's for too long we've narrowed down comics, especially the mainstream, he says in parentheses, has narrowed down that demographic to mean one thing, and now there's such an a push against that one thing or that demographic that it's irritating. You need there's a desperate need in the market for that, and you're seeing that a lot in the alternative and independent market by people doing crowdfunding books that are old style, and old style meaning books that you would read or that would be really popular 15 20 years ago. But there still has to be a level of accessibility out there. That's the real key. So that's part of the fun of printing Russ's book, is that it's that cosmic type feel to it, and yet grounded and accessible.
Well, that was the thing with Russ's book too, is that I had that same reaction, that I didn't think it was just like, oh, what is, it's like, okay, you kind of a little curious, you're kind of hitting my Skeletor vibes. Let me look at this, and again, it's a fun book. It's a fun book that you could give to anybody, and it's like, and it's just really nice, to be able to like pick up a book and actually like not feel like you have to grind through it.
Yes. Well, that's I mean, that's Randy's doing the same thing. It's just like you say, it's getting it out to people, making it. I mean, that expression, making it accessible, is so overused.
It is,
but it is true. It's about connecting with people, and the wider your audience, the more people you're going to connect with. It's as simple as that. Yep. And after working with Panini on Doctor Who, I came into contact with many writers and editors, one particular editor and a couple of particular writers, but all of them did the same thing. They were writing in a book that was supposedly for 8 to 12-year-olds, and they never wrote down once. Everything was there were long words in there. There was drama in it. It was never, oh, this is a kid's book, let's write down to kids. No, not at all. And working with those people, it helped bring me to the point where I thought, no, this is the right thing. This is what I should be in, because I've done some horror books, I've done some sci-fi, and I enjoy a good dark bit of art, bit of violence, bit of gore, a bit of fun. But at the same time, that wasn't necessarily where my heart was. And after, going back to the comics that I loved as a kid, and then realizing that I was actually involved in those kind of comics by accident, but realizing that's where I should be. And it suited my art style at the time as well. So
you had a whole different art style at that point?
At that point that's where it suited what I was doing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I've been looking for a long time as how am I going to do this? What am I going to bring? What is going to be my style? It's like you look for it and you're like, you see lots of shiny things. Squirrel, yeah,
and exactly.
You see, like, oh, I love that style, I'm going to go do that, or I love that style, and then you finally get to a point where you think, no, I'm going to do me. And you've got to let that go. You've got to let yourself do it, and at the same time, sounds arrogant, but it isn't. You've got to have that confidence in yourself. You've got to look at your own stuff and go, I'm not the finished product. I know that. I know I've got a long way to go, but you know what? This is going definitely in the right direction, and I've got to lean into it. And that takes some courage. It takes some maturity, and it takes hard work.
Yeah,
and
before you've got to put the hours in. You've got to put the hours in for that to be a reality.
Before we go much farther, folks, Daphne, you need to introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, I do. Right? Do I?
No, you don't. You're Daphne. Everybody knows Daphne.
Yeah, by this point, right?
Almost everybody does, but we still have a radio reach. At least I hope. I hope we're getting a radio reach today, even though Varian doesn't have, may or may not have electricity at his house. So, go ahead.
There we go.
Yeah.
So hello, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. And I have been self-publishing comics since 1992. And I am known for my funny animal fantasy adventure, being the furry expert here on the panel. My fantasy adventure, Tall Tales, which is now currently on Kickstarter, Volume 1 and Volume 2, in case you missed the Kickstarter for Volume 1. So you can check out, go to my Facebook, and you can check out the links there, because I'm actually remembering at this moment, I didn't put a link to it on my website. So go to my Facebook and go the link to go see the link to my Kickstarter for Tall Tales. Yeah. And I am also known for my fantasy soap opera drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which is now in pre-launch. So you can also check out my Facebook for the link to the pre-launch page. This launches on Kickstarter September 20th. And I just want to make the announcement that I just finished coloring issue 3, so this book will be completely done when the Kickstarter goes live. So you don't have to worry about whether you're going to wait 6 to 9 months for any of my books. So not throwing shade on anybody here, but, you know.
Cut that, D. Cut that.
So you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TILS online.com and egoworks.com. And you can check out all of my videos on how I make my comics on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art. And as always, it's always love for Mr. Russ and Mr. Randy. So I'm not meaning anything for anybody.
And we need to remind our radio audience that if you hear strange noises in the background, it's Daphne's parrots. So it's probably not your smoke detector this morning, and it's probably not a garbage truck backing up.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Daphne does have parrots that like to make noises. Yeah. So the ninja Genko says, "Who's that lady?" Apex Comics says Daphne is a crafty New Yorker
Who the hell is that?
Sugar says, who could forget Daphne?
Well then. Thank you, sirs. Thank you all. Thank you all.
How
Flattery
you doing?
gets you everywhere.
How you doing? Where
How you
Apex
doing?
Comics says, where may I order a copy of Aero Comics? That's a good question. Right now, I am not sure if Varian has put them up on the site. We're just getting things up and rolling at this point. We have Varian has already stated already there's a major client that has picked up a large bulk of our print run. The way that Liberty Comics works is that you order it directly from your retailer orders directly from Liberty once the books are in stock, and the books are in stock now. I'm not sure if Varian has officially posted them on the site yet, because we've had as with everything when you're just getting started, there are little bumps in the road that all have to be smoothed out until everything goes. But rest assured that you will be able to get a copy of that book, hopefully through your local retailer. If not, then there will be a number of other means that we will be crowing about, I guess would be the screaming about. It will probably be more like
probably the megaphone.
Large megaphones, as soon as that news can become available. And there are as with everything, like we said, there's glitches, there's bumps, there's happy accidents, there's bad accidents, there's screwy things that happen. It has been, we'll do a show one time after everything has cleared up where we'll point out the entire comedy of errors that has happened, both happy and bad accidents. But rest assured, they will be available very soon. I will be in Grand Rapids at Grand Rapids Con this weekend, and I will have copies of the Aero Comics books for sale, as long as, depending upon who Varian gets permission from to sell at Grand Rapids, that he will also be selling copies. I think he's selling copies of everything. Of the main group of us that are available. I don't think there's any question there. So that those books will be available at Grand Rapids Con. They should be up on the site shortly. You'll have more announcements as we go along, and it's there's a lot of things that we've been quiet about for many months that we're aching.
Explode here.
We've been ready to explode for like 3 or 4 months actually, and we're just waiting for the official word. And rest assured, when we can say it, you will know. And we're hoping it'll be all over the place, but we can't tell anymore with the way that the current comic media is, and they're bent and their who knows what their personal agendas are out. So but you'll hear it here, so just stay tuned and keep watching Aero Comics on Facebook. Keep watching wherever Dreamweaver Press is. I'm sure you'll hear about it. I'm sure you will. So thanks for asking though. Tell your retailer to give a look over to and here he is clicking through looking for the proper card. Again, make sure you tell your retailer to take a look at www.ledg.us, because Liberty is a different kind of distributor. And I know when you tell them there's a new distributor, their eyes will roll and go, oh crap, not another one. Oh my God. No. But again, the way Liberty works is that you order the product gets shipped out to you as fast as Liberty can get it into the shipping services. And then it's right there at the retailer door. They don't have to order 3 months in advance. They don't have to worry about what their budget's going to be 12 weeks from now or 16 weeks from now, even hoping that the product's going to come in. They order it, they get it. And when they get it, it's in bags and boards that they can already put on the shelf or put in your pull list or whatever. It's made to be a service to aid the retailer, not to hinder them, or not to go through and try to squeeze as much money out of them or make things as uncomfortable for them to do business like some other distributors have been known to do.
Rhymes with Schweinend.
Where Aero would not be coming back the way that it is if it wasn't for Liberty. To tell you the flat out truth, I believe in the system. I love the system. I retailed for over a decade. This is the kind of distributor that retailers, in my opinion, are in desperate need of, especially now that they're having to pinch and save, and you don't know from week to week what clientele you're going to be able to have walk through your door, if any. Right now, especially because there's so many threats of regulations, or not regulations, but restrictions, and where you can or cannot go, or what you have to have in order to get there. So Liberty is really an ideal distributor. And as soon as all of those bumps are ironed out, we might be able to service you directly through Aero Comics. But right now, we want to be exclusive through Liberty so that they can get their system up and running. And we want to give them the best quality of the best products that we can in order to make that service appealable to all of the retailers. So we hope you understand and can ride with us as we go on this crazy journey, trying to make better comics and make better comics available to the better retailers out there that are open to pick up that kind of publication. So. Nine Realms says, oh man, look at this panel. Yeah, that's right. More coffee. That's it. So Daphne is a crafty New Yorker. Oh, he says, oh man, look at this panel. No, Daphne is a crafty New Yorker. Where may I order Aero Comics? Oh, that's answered. Russ posted a beautiful page of art yesterday.
Thank you.
Well, that's not saying anything. He always posts a beautiful piece of art.
I'm blushing now. I'm blushing.
If he posts something like ugly and gross, it's like, oh my god, he's been kidnapped. His site's been hacked.
I'm producing the work of my life at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
That web address again, Apex is running along the bottom of the screen. It's very simple to remember. If I can remember it, you can write it down. So ledg.us.
Yeah,
we're going off the ledge. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. we'll probably try to come up with something that maybe you'll be able to download from the Liberty website that you can bring to your retailer, with a QR code or something. It's just some ideas that we're percolating.
Again, we're just
right.
Things are just getting rolling. Things are getting smoothed out with a steamroller at this point, and we're trying to get them accessible to everybody as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
ledg.us.
Yeah,
that's correct. Yep. And slash those restrictions. Let's hope so. Apex. We're all in this mess. Whether we like it or not.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I was just at
It's Tigger. I just triggered a couple Karens right there.
Oh no! Why? What? It's Tigger.
I saw that video.
Isn't that ridiculous?
When you get a woman,
go ahead.
To someone's house next door to them. They had their camera running, and she came up. She said, "I just wanted to come around and have a chat and say, I don't complain about your garden. I don't complain about your backyard, but that Tigger flag, you got a great stars and stripes at the front, but that Tigger flag, that's not. I'm going to have to complain about that." And the woman was like,
"It needs to come down."
Okay. Yes. And she was so polite to this other woman. I'd have told her to F off. Get off my land now, or I'll kick you off. It's none of your business what's on my land. Get out of it.
It's people gotta look. You know what? It's like we don't live in HOA, neighborhoods for a reason. We don't need complete strangers all of a sudden coming up.
It stuns me. Absolutely stuns me. It really does.
Apparently, they weren't
got a right to do that.
They weren't in an HOA.
They weren't.
Right. No. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, look, you're lucky I don't have like a rusted Chevy on blocks on the front yard.
No, I was really impressed with how nice.
Flag.
I was really impressed with how nice the woman was when she responded. What it goes to show is there is no respect of age. There are arseholes in every generation.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, the next question out of my mouth would have been, "Did you take your meds this morning?"
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Don't let the gate in.
It's a little wacky. It's a little wacky.
Right, you know. I mean, really, it's like people don't know how to. I mean, it's a, you know, and it's not even, you know, it's like, and mind you, this is probably the same person who a house could be on fire, and she goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's peculiar," and keep walking. But a Tigger Flag, she has to
Right.
come.
Oh yeah, Tigger.
I gotta talk to you about that.
Michael Oden wants to tell everybody Nine Realms Publishing. By the way, guys, we're closing out In Demand on the Embrace tomorrow because it'll be finished next week.
Next week. There you go.
Next, sir. It'll be finished next week. We know what you mean.
It's early in the morning, you know.
Yes.
Early in the morning, typing on a phone, you know how it goes.
We do. Way too much. That, and you can't trust Google anymore. It's irritating.
Right. Yeah. You gotta really pay attention to the words it wants to replace stuff with.
And I always catch it
Google
after I send it. After I send it, I catch it. So all of a sudden, there's a lot of attention wares out there.
Yeah.
This drives me crazy.
There's a lot of ducks in mine. I don't know why. It's like Google keeps insisting I want to talk about ducks for some reason.
It's never ducks. I haven't given a duck in a long time. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh man. But so this last weekend I was at Eternal Con, and really it was weird to be back outside, but it was nice though. It was really nice. The place was jumping. It's like you would have thought nothing changed, which is nice, except for the fact that everybody was wearing masks because you know we were on a property that mandated it. So, but the thing is though, it's like, you know what? Everybody just functioned like, you know what? Okay, fine. You know, as long as we get to do this, you know, as long as we get to be outside, as long as we get to, go to the print mongers and pick up, go through the dollar boxes and, there's the Funko Pop guy. I mean, it was just really nice to be in that environment again. Oh, and one thing's for sure though. The one thing that I hope doesn't go away soon is the social distance tables. Because it was so nice being able to come around our tables without having to crawl over somebody else's luggage because we're all on top of each other. It was very nice. It was very comfortable.
That usually happens at my table regardless, because everybody wheels their luggage up, especially on Sunday. Hey, mind if I park this here?
Right. Yeah. So it was just really nice having the space between the tables to be able to function properly. So
Daphne's buy my comics, don't touch me.
Right. Yes, exactly. Because that's the New York way. So it was just, it was just really nice, and it's like, and people bought comics, I mean, I know that there was a lot of fear that it's like people were going to be like stingy or whatnot, but although stickers was the biggest thing that we sold the weekend. We ended up with like a friggin' pimp knot of dollar bills. It's like at the end of it, it's like, oh, we're ready for the club. It's like,
well, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was the big seller though.
I've never heard that expression before. Pimp knot.
Pimp knot? You never heard? Oh, then
no.
Yeah, it's very New York.
Yes, I have. I know what it means automatically, but
see, and you see how this show is educational.
Oh yeah. So, hey, kids, expand your vocabulary. Get an education. Right,
exactly. Yes. Buy some stickers and fill up our pimp knot. And Russ is like, what?
I had to explain to Varian a few months ago. Remember also, kids, that this program is rated TVMA DLSV. So you will hear rough language, coarse language, or language that, maybe your parents might not want you to hear. So viewer discretion is always advised on this show.
Always advised and recommended.
I had to explain to Varian what a balloon knot was a couple of months ago. Geez. He didn't know what that was. So.
Oh, no.
Anyway, on to comics.
Right. Yes. Exactly. So yes. So stickers were really popular, and yeah, but people were buying comics. People were buying comics.
Michael obviously doesn't know who our new sponsor is. It's all right, guys.
Right.
Got to pop off. doing a live review of War Party on my channel. LOL.
There you go.
Go 9 Realms. You go. The ninja goes, nice coffee and grains, jalapeno grits and coffee for me. There you go.
Oh, that's a breakfast of champions. There
great
you go.
Great way to start the morning.
Uh-huh.
Ghost peppers at all? No. Tigger plays on people's triggers. Definitely not a part of the wonderful things about Tiggers. Time to bounce on off.
Oh my God.
Tail. Yep.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Thanks, Jill. We get enough coffee, we can all bounce on our tails.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm really looking forward to seeing, like how you guys do this weekend. There's Megacon. Oh, there we go.
There's a little Tigger right there.
I was being
a little tiger, little panther. Is he all black?
Yeah.
Cool. I've got a cat with a little white tuft under his chin.
Oh yeah, he's got like a couple of white hairs just there. Yeah. It's almost identical to our last cat.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, same with ours. We had a cat for many years. We called her Mischievous. So. And this one we were going to call Yeti until she started climbing underneath all of the furniture and coming out with dust bunnies. So,
ew.
Yeah. Now she was really small when we got her. We were gonna call her Yeti because she looked like a furry little Yeti beast, like a little furball beast. But once she started coming out from underneath the places we hadn't dusted,
right.
We call her Swiffer.
There you go. I knew it. I was waiting for it.
I was going to call them Cat 1 and Cat 2, but my wife wasn't having any of it.
Couldn't keep them apart then. Yeah. Got to be able to tell them apart.
Yeah.
So
Cat
instead,
1,
you
Cat
named
2.
them after dictators.
Oh, yeah. That didn't float either. Mussolini and Chairman Meow is what they should be called. But
Chairman Meow. There we are.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
I like Mussolini.
Mussolini. I thought that was my son's idea. That was very good.
Critical says I'd have called her Swiffer. Yeah, we did. It's just we knew right off the bat. As soon as the first time he did it, it's like, name change. You're Swiffer from now on. Critical Blast says boom, boom.
Hey. Yeah, but yeah, so it's like, so we have Megacon this weekend. So we'll probably be getting a report from Meredith and Nita about Megacon.
Yeah.
In the middle of a hurricane.
In the middle of a hurricane, or at least a tropical storm. So.
At least it probably won't turn Category 1 until it hits the Panhandle. So.
Oh well, that's all right then.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh yeah, sure. That's all Florida needs.
Yeah,
get battered a little bit harder.
Right. So. And then and it's like, so are you going to be streaming? You're going to be streaming from your show.
We are. I was going to mention that at the end, that Sunday Funnies, if we can get everything hooked up, as long as everything goes smoothly, Sunday Funnies will be an hour late on Sunday. It'll be on at 10 instead of 9. And then we'll be performing in front of a live audience.
Ooh.
I guess you'd say, or anybody that happened to walk across the conference room that we can wave in.
There you go. So you can literally be screaming there, come on in, the coffee and the Cheetos.
Come on in, have a seat. Yeah, come on in, have a seat. Yep. Looking forward to that.
For real.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if we can get everything worked out again, we'll be doing it again in November when Grand Rapids has their official large program at the middle or end of November. So hopefully things will be back up to
right. And then the next thing after that is the awards show. That's coming up really fast too.
Oh, really fast. Yep.
Right.
That's September 18th on at Dave & Buster's. Yeah. That'll be broadcast live as well on Facebook and YouTube on the usual.
I have to stay up late to watch that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the judges are going to have to start getting books.
Oh, that was my next question. Yeah. Is that so? Has submissions closed yet for that?
If not, then they're really close to it. You're going to have to go over to indievoltawards.com and get the official closeout date if it hasn't already happened. I do know now we are almost approaching just 4 weeks away on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, remember it was last year and we were just finding out about lockdown.
Not at this point. At this point last year, we were hoping the lockdowns were over.
Yeah.
And we were angry because they weren't, at least here in this state, we were angry that they weren't lightening up the restrictions fast enough.
Yeah.
And
I mean, but
only
the
certain areas of Michigan were allowed in parentheses to do certain things thanks to our governor. We'll come to find out. Those were the areas the governor decided she wanted to take a vacation in.
Well,
why would any government want to let its people do what they wanted to do? Good Lord.
No, not at all. But they want to live on our money while they keep us from living on
Oh no, I
too.
didn't want to get into politics.
Well, that's true too. Well, we should.
Scumbags. They're all just scumbags. That's all that
saying
matters.
is that, all I was saying was that, my brain is still in March 2020, 2020 somewhere. It's still in March 2020. That's what I'm saying.
And also
we're in September 2021.
Yeah. And without getting too political, the thing that's really driving me crazy right now is everybody is bouncing their statistics against 2020. So I live in just south of Flint, Michigan, which is known for it not just starting GM, but for having a certain amount of violence. Not as bad as the south side of Chicago or certain parts of Detroit, maybe. But now our crime is up. Our crime is up compared to 2020. And I'm like, you idiots, 2020, nobody was freaking moving. Of course your crime is up.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you telling us stats from a dead year? Tell us how that compares to 2019. Don't tell us, well, since 2020, crime's gone up 40%.
Yeah,
it's relatively easy. No. Just turn the television off.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's very true too.
That's true too. That's what I did a long time ago. And it's like, you know what? It's excellent for your sanity.
It is.
Don't listen to that crap. It rots your brains.
Yeah, it really does.
Genuine Comics says, good morning, Indie Volt. Good morning, Genuine. And Apex has asked twice. Russ, so I need to ask you. Apex wants to know, are you related to illustrator Gary Leach?
Oh, no. I'm glad I'm not, because I would be like the failing relative, wouldn't I?
Oh,
no. No, Gary Leach has got nothing to do with me. He's a fantastic artist.
No, you're supposed to be asking Russ if he's related to Robin Leach. Come on, people, get it together.
Most of the audience have no idea who Robin Leach is.
We're old, aren't we?
I am directly related to Jack Hawkins. There you go.
Well, there you are.
Rather big in the 40s. Don't know where all his money went. I didn't get it.
And I have no idea who that is.
Jack Hawkins is like a British actor.
Okay.
Who was very popular in the old movies.
Then I should know who that is.
He's a second cousin of mine or something.
Cool.
And obviously there's a very famous Leech who wasn't a Leech. Noel Coward was a real name is Leech, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. Or I may have just got that wrong, but somebody tell me.
No, it's a common name, just like Zimmerman is a common name.
Thanks.
So every time, that's not what I meant, but it's an often used last name that's gotten around all over the world. So just like Zimmerman has, even though it's got German roots to it, there's not a whole lot of German in me. So
I mean, it's like, you just need one guy to ruin it for everybody.
You do, yes. Yep. I'm absolutely no relation to George. Right. None. As far as I know, even shirt tail, none. My grandmother's maiden name though was Richards, so I am related somehow to Reed Richards, but I'm not.
There you go. Okay.
You're both stretchy. Yeah.
There we are. Richards and Wadsworth. So I guess there's a lot of Anglo-Saxon, at least as far as the name goes. But I was always told I was a mutt. Well, I've always been afraid to do the that ancestry DNA
no,
search.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Because
Don't
I'm
do it.
sure there'll be a percentage that'll come back WTF. So,
Well, no, also, but for the real reason nobody should be doing that ancestry stuff is because then it's like now they own your genetic information
Mhm.
without being regulated by HIPAA, which means that they will sell that they will sell your information to insurance companies who will then use it against you and
Yeah,
deny
don't do
you
that.
insurance.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
So don't
shit.
do
No.
that.
So
Don't do
don't
that.
do
Well done, Critical Blast. You're
I am-
absolutely right. It was Cary Grant. Cary Grant,
Yeah.
Archie Baldwin.
There we go.
There you go. I knew it was somebody posh.
Yeah. So yeah, kids, don't do
Cary-
ancestry.com.
Cary Grant, Varian ought to be related to that guy. Then.
Uh-huh.
Who knows? Russ and
Yeah.
Varian could be distant cousins.
I can see the likeness.
Even I know who Noel Coward is. Sorry, Critical Blast. I probably need to. I will learn who he is. So figure that out.
Don't put your daughter on the stage, Mrs. Worthington. Don't put your daughter on the stage.
Lifestyles
British
shameless.
music hall. You wouldn't know anything about it.
Okay, probably not.
Probably a good thing.
I've seen a lot of older movies, but the name doesn't ring a bell.
Never mind.
Russ is going to start signing out by saying "Caviar Dreams." I forget the rest. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. What was the rest of it? Yeah, see, I don't even remember that. What was that? That was not 20 years ago, that's for sure.
1950s, we'd like to track your location and registered your DNA for free. Public sawed off. You can see the likeness, especially around the eyes. Yeah.
Oh.
2020, we'd like to track your location and register your DNA. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's. I mean, I swear
Pay
to God,
us.
if Facebook,
Public.
if
Take my money.
Facebook
Yep.
had a little thing telling you to put your social
Giggity.
security number in, people would be filling
Most,
that in.
yeah, they would.
You know.
They would.
Idiots.
Yep.
I'd never put my real birthday into any of these things. I don't put where I live. None of it. It's like, there's I let out my email address. I let out my email address because that's part of business.
Yeah.
But I don't put my
Right,
phone
yeah.
number. I don't put my personal phone number in.
Right.
Lord.
Yeah. But that's
What's wrong with people?
Yeah, exactly. Remember when it's like, when we were growing up and at the start of the internet, yes, because we were there when the internet was born. We were always getting told, don't put your private information out there,
Yeah.
be careful. Don't trust anybody on the internet,
Mhm.
and now it's like you got these kids putting out like everything.
They live on the internet. Yeah.
They
I
really
won't
do.
even use a remote server to put my stuff on and back it up.
Right.
No
yeah.
way.
And by the way, that's what the cloud is. A cloud it just means that there's a server in someone else's
place.
It's not the cloud. It's not.
And they have all your shit. So don't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's in
Yeah.
there.
No, really. Like it's in the air. Like the Willy Wonka thing where the particles are floating.
Wonka vision. There we are.
Yeah.
That's what it really is. It really is Wonka vision.
There was a book that I read.
I've got a better word than that.
Yeah. There was a book that I tried.
That you have.
It's a
The
very
movie's
British
horrible.
word.
Yeah. Wow. It was called The Circle, and they made like a really, really awful Tom Hanks movie with it. But I think this book was like 10, 15 years old or something. I don't quite remember. But I couldn't read it because the concept in it was so absolutely terrifying. And what it was the book was about how all our information becomes so public that people who don't divulge everything are now considered suspicious. And
Aren't we almost there now?
well, and that's the thing.
Consider
That's
me
kind of,
suspicious.
yeah, and that's the thing that's happening now. It's like it's like people are treating like if you don't divulge everything online, well, what are you hiding? It's like, bitch, it's called privacy. I'm not hiding anything.
Yeah.
Not
your
everything is your
business.
business.
Yeah.
Jake
You
says,
know,
I think I need to resurrect Stinch to satirize the oversharing, what oversharing youngsters do. Tell my favorite pet was a rhino raptor.
Oh, can I have one of those? I can have a rhino-raptor.
Trico says, I'm waiting for there to be a Social Security challenge that goes viral where all the kids post their SS numbers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, the funny thing is that, like all those little quizzes and stuff,
I was
like
just thinking of
put in
them,
your
yeah.
birthday. Yeah, that's all that is.
Yeah.
That's all them trying, like just gathering enough data
Yeah.
on you so they can infer the rest.
Oh yeah.
What's your first street, the first street that, that you lived on and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, oh, but, and then all the filters is just that everyone's doing all the filters like, oh, thanks for training our AI for facial recognition. Thank you for doing that for us for free. It's like,
they just don't get it, do they?
They really don't. They really don't. Every time I see someone use those filters, I just cringe.
Yeah.
It's like, that's more information you've just put into the system.
You can't tell them that.
Yeah.
I can't tell my kids that. They're just like, oh, Dad, stop it. You're
Stop
just an
being
old
crazy.
conspiracy. You're an old conspiracy theorist. Shut up.
Well, I was curious on one yesterday that would turn a photograph into a cartoon, see how it would work.
Yeah.
And it was free, but it was actually $9.99. They wanted your number, but they'd refund you right away. It's like, fuck yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
See you later.
Not happening. See you later. Yeah. Never give away your personal information.
No,
folks.
for
Your
real.
numbers, your social security number, your debit card number. Never. Don't do that. And only for me, I try to only use trusted sites, bigger sites, so that if they do get any of the information, they've got a lot of other people with a lot more money than I do that they can tap into before me. So, from the desk of a small press publisher, I was in the military when internet, as we know it, was born. Funny how this means of communication for armed forces is now dragged in the mud by the general public. Yeah.
Well, because it's like, it's kind of like the way air travel changed. Like I remember back in the day, people bought clothing just to go on an airplane. Like it was so fancy, like it was rare that people did it. So it was an event when you got on an airplane. Now people go on airplanes in pajamas and slippers. Like it's kind of like the Greyhound in the sky. Yeah.
And trains have become fancier. So
well, not the ones. Well, not the one. It depends. The ones over here.
Oh well, the average commute trains, but now they're offering train trips like up the West Coast with large windows that you can see the scenery.
Those
and
look
stuff.
like fun. Those look like fun.
They do. We thought about taking one out through Montana because we've gone through Montana before. It's an amazing country.
No, I could imagine. Yeah, because trains can go places that cars can't.
Yeah.
So it's like, so the views that you must be getting, and the thing is and you're getting a view without a highway most of the time too. So
even when I've traveled by train to Chicago, and it's a great little trip if you don't mind the constant swaying.
Oh well, but in an airplane,
Yeah, you still get those big bumps and an occasional large drop all at once. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I don't fly very often either. I stopped flying a couple years after about 2003 when they were really doing the checks at the airports, and they went through my bags and took the best trimming shears that I had. The blades were really small, about 1.5 inches. They had to have those, and I loved using those to keep my beard shapely, And then I get home, and in the bottom of the same bag is an incredibly large backing knife that they completely missed. We used at the convention that I forgot was even in the bag to start with. It was at the bottom of the bag. They should have seen it on their X-ray, but they were more after my exact scissors that cost me quite a bit. But not that big.
It's funny.
It was a razor blade knife, the same type that they said was used in the. Yeah. Anyway, I just shook my head and went, "That's the last time I'm flying."
Right.
So. That's not comics, folks. Let's talk comics.
Right. Well, So what are you looking forward? So what are you looking?
I was coming back from a convention at the time.
Yeah. So tell us about Grand Rapids for this weekend, and what's the plans? What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, Mark's always put on a great show. This is at the Deltaplex and not his regular outlet that he usually does his big show at. That's coming in November. So it'll be a smaller, more relaxed show. I'm not sure about how the crowd will go, because usually when college is out, the crowds for his shows are a little lighter. But I'm looking forward to being there and broadcasting from there and meeting people that I haven't seen in years, literally a couple of years, since I haven't been out and about, at the shows. I even stopped doing my shows because of all the restrictions, and didn't want to deal with the openness of the farmers market and have to worry about distancing and stuff, because we're always the two outlets that I have, the two markets that I do shows in, the shows themselves are usually pretty crowded, so it's better just to wait so that distancing isn't going to be a problem. But at this place, I know the Deltaplex that they're having it in is really spacious, so there'll be plenty of distance between everybody. The wife has been asking me whether I was sure I wanted to go, but because of everything that's happening. But I'm pretty sure that things will be safe. So, I'll be going with a mask. I'm not sure if I'm going to be wearing it all the time, but I will be. I will have one with.
Have you been jabbed?
I ain't saying on the air.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Because that's personal information.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I understand. Sorry, I asked. It just seems to be so sort of prevalent that everybody just asks blatantly.
Right.
Yeah. I personally, I don't care, but masks aren't going to help. There you go. My son's a chemist. He said the masks that you get in general society, it's the equivalent of those viral particles going through the mask is the equivalent of throwing gravel at a wire fence.
Yes. Yep.
Right, because you're
more likely to breathe your own shit than you are to stop a
that's been the big problem. I had a mask I was always carrying with me, but I kept having a harder and harder time to breathe. It was a cloth mask, and it was double and triple layered. And I think what is happening is that it's starting to erode, and that the cotton on the inside, the cotton backing on the inside is flaking off.
Well, my wife had to wear a mask because she works in a local shop, and it was mandated that she had to do it. I wasn't impressed with it because effectively people, they made kids do it as well. I know it's a whole lot worse in America, but it's like you're breathing in your own crap. And these things, unless you've got one of those big sort of, massive ones with the filters
with the breathers,
they don't actually do anything. So half the population has been completely brainwashed over it.
I stopped wearing that and went to a disposable mask.
Yeah.
Well,
at least that way you're not continuing to use. Yeah.
And I found it a lot easier to breathe in, because that was always my two biggest complaints about wearing those masks, is that it was hard to breathe and it would constantly fog up my glasses.
Yeah.
So, and I really don't want to have to move my glasses down to the end of my nose over top of my mask in order to keep that from happening. But
right, and then it's like you have people who don't keep forgetting to wash the cloth. It's like you're better off with the disposables, because at least you're just
as long as you dispose of them properly,
Right, exactly.
One of the first things
sitting around.
One of the first things they spoke about was wash your hands and all the rest of it. And,
don't touch your face.
There's so many people that don't wash their hands.
Well, that's a whole other issue, because that's the thing. I mean, it's like, so at the convention, so I wore a mask the entire time, and I had hand sanitizer. After handling anything with anybody, I was constantly using the hand sanitizer. Yeah. Because it's like, if you can't constantly go to the bathroom, so it's like to wash your hands. So it's like, you gotta constant. So it's like, so I was kind of like pretty vigilant with it. Although the funny thing is that, I had to take the mask off to eat. It's like, okay, am I less in danger because I'm eating? It's kind of like, that's kind of when the ridiculousness kind of
I love the whole restaurant. I love the whole restaurant and bar thing. It's like wander through the restaurant with the mask on, and then sit down, and of course, no chance.
Right, like
no
all
chance
of a sudden, because you're eating, all of a sudden you're eating, the virus is like, oh, you're eating, I won't bother you. Sorry, I'll go to this next person here. I mean, that's not how it works. So it's like,
don't try to apply logic to it. Just
so that's
no. There's no logic in any of this.
This is kind of sus, but it's like. But then again, it was like incredibly humid outside, so I wasn't going to go outside, to get away from anybody either. So,
but I mean, making sure you have, clean hands and whatever. You don't know what other people are doing, and
it's
people
true.
don't wash their hands. They don't.
Look, there was a study that I read that it's like, look, if you should be, like just taking, keeping yourself, especially when you're handling money and you're at these conventions and whatnot. This is just, this is just general avoiding con crud stuff. Okay,
well,
you know how it's like you come home from a convention and and you're sick as a dog for 3 days. It's like there was a study that said that men in particular do not wash their hands after using the bathroom. However, women only wash their hands if somebody else is in the bathroom watching.
Oh no!
So don't touch anybody.
Where's that?
Don't touch anybody.
What did they have to do to get that information? Anyway, wow.
Who admitted it?
It's like, it's like, just don't. I think they had like observers. I don't think it was anybody admitting to that. I think it was just observers.
In the fancier bathrooms, maybe.
Right. Yeah. So don't touch anybody's hands. Don't touch your face.
No, don't do it.
It's not just that, but I'm willing to wager that the con crud problem doesn't come through touching another person. It comes through touching their money. Because money is like the dirtiest thing that you could. Paper money is the dirtiest thing you can have. It's been everywhere. Who knows what it's been rolled up and sniffed through it, or who knows?
Well, actually, they said that every dollar bill has that's true. That every dollar bill has traces of cocaine on them.
Especially back in the 80s,
it's like really.
That's good.
Glenn says, I wonder, with people not washing their hands, why are we all not dead 1 million years ago?
We're the ones that survived, sir.
Natural selection.
It's called
natural selection.
That survived. People did die. We're just the ones that survived.
It's called building an immune system as well.
And
that's another big question everybody will be facing here shortly. How sterile?
Well, because
what sterilization is actually going to do for the populace. I used to work at Walmart. Women can be just as gross, if not worse, than men when it comes to bathroom stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like without getting too TMI. If you ever wanted to know what a crime scene looked like,
it's better than the coof. Yeah. Not washing your hands makes you more powerful. So everyone would stop washing your hands for the benefit of the species. Yeah, that's some great logic.
There was also a lot of studies about that's the reason why a lot of kids developed a lot of allergies, especially nowadays, because parents are like so fastidious with cleanliness that kids aren't allowed to get dirty and build their immune system. So that's how we're having this overabundance of allergies.
Back in my day, we used to play in the mud and eat dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Snails eat snails.
Eat snails.
Great.
I had a grandfather who did that. It's like after a rain, he'd be outside and he'd be picking snails. It's like, no, it's like, stop. No.
A crime scene? You mean the girls' restroom in high school? The janitor's daily nightmare? Yes. That's what she means.
So wash your hands. So this is why you should always wash your hands regardless. But it's money. It's definitely, you're handling money. So when you go to conventions, it's always a good idea to invest in a
little bottle of hand sanitizer.
Well, that too. But like the contactless payment systems, if you can, because I was using one I had gotten one for the weekend, and that thing worked like a charm. I mean, people were even able to use their phones. And also, that's another thing too. People are a lot more willing to spend when they don't have to pull out cash.
Yeah, isn't that weird? If I was still going to conventions, which I'm not because I don't get invited anymore, I would definitely get one of those. Yeah. Definitely. Because people are they'll pick anything up and they'll just swipe their card now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I literally had people paying for $1 stickers with their credit card, and it's like bloop, and you're done.
Nita says not all women, Mrs. Lage.
Yes, all women.
No, you had a virtual pimp roll.
Yeah, no, for real. It's like the amount that people charged was always more than what they paid in cash for. So yeah, so it's like if you're going to conventions, yeah, I would definitely recommend investing in a contactless reader.
Empyrean says, I saw an episode of House MD about this. That no exposure to germs will kill you.
Yeah, it will, because then the littlest germ is going to wipe you out.
Yeah, they banned that from the
doesn't know
telly.
how to handle it. Yeah.
Did they banned that episode?
I'm just saying.
It probably did.
No, that was the
surprised me
Peppa
at all.
Pig episode.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He's
anything with truth in it, ban it.
You know.
Well, that's what they were saying with any type of flu like this. The herd immunity is important, so you need to let it run in the wild so that you can put a stop to it and build an immunity to it.
Well, you see, the real problem is that it's overwhelming hospitals. That's what it is. You know, so I mean, because in the end, if you really think about it, the issue really isn't the fact that, you know, like the result of, you know, like how many people are getting infected, but the fact that all our hospitals seems to be woefully underdeveloped to handle a crisis. You know, and it's like that's kind of the real issue with this.
Yeah,
that's what it was labeled at for us. It was like 3 weeks to save the NHS, but the government got too used to having restrictions and seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what happened here. 3 turned into 6, turned into 9, turned into 16, turned into
because I think that if hospitals had the resources and the accommodations to take care of all these people, this unusual amount of people getting sick at the same time, I think that we would have a better result.
Well, they built special hospitals called I can't remember what the names are.
Tents.
Yeah, they built these special hospitals, like loads, millions and millions of pounds, and then they just took them down early last year.
Yeah.
And then they weren't. So it's like, well, in that case, why didn't you leave them up?
Right, exactly.
Leave them up, and then you got to make. And apparently, because of the way that our hospitals work, we have like the NHS, and then you have like independent trusts. And the clever thing to do, the triage thing to do, is to make 1 in every 3 hospitals a CV hospital. Okay, but none of them wanted to do that because they were all in charge of their own budgets, and they didn't want to be the CV hospital.
Right? Yeah.
That especially happened over here, because every hospital's a corporation more than a. More than a place to get well from.
Bureaucracy and money every time.
It's a for-profit business here, a lot harder. It's more for-profit here than it is over there. So, and it just got insane.
But let's talk comics.
Exactly. So for conventions, so we're talking about conventions.
Yeah, conventions.
So
digital numbers removes the materiality of it.
Yeah, it does. So it's like so really do. I mean, they're not that expensive. I think I paid like $40 for my contactless reader from Square, and it definitely paid for itself on the first day. So because that's the thing. Because now it's like nobody has an excuse. Oh, I don't have the cash. It's okay. I take card. You know, now you can just tap your phone. You have Google Pay. Tap your phone.
Was it 3% or something for one of those?
Something like that. It's like 2-3%. Yeah, it's Square. So I know that depending, like there's some, you have to really look into different because there's different, like I know Square has one, PayPal has one, there's some other ones. So you have to look at what their percentage is, but usually what I see is like 2-3%.
Right. Okay.
We want to remind everybody PayPal. That just like PayPal. Yeah. We want to remind everybody that you're listening to an episode of the Breakfast Buzz for the 12th of August, 2021. I want to thank all of our radio listeners. If you're out there, we deeply appreciate you. We don't have numbers today. Varian is down and not here, whether he doesn't have electricity or what. He might be here at any time, but we don't have your numbers in front of us. We just appreciate you. If you're out there listening to us on YouTube right now, make sure you hit the subscribe button and you hit the bell for notifications, because especially this weekend, because we might be doing a few extra broadcasts as we are at the show. So you want to stay tuned for that. And you never know who we might be able to drag to the microphone to talk with us, because I have no idea who we're going to have for Sunday Funnies. But we'll go around and ask people on Saturday if they want to be part. So we'll see how that goes.
So are you going to have an Aero Comics booth or an Indie Vault booth? How's that going to work?
No, I think we're having 2 tables. That'll be part Last Call, part Varian and his companies, part Indie Vault, part Liberty, and part Aero. So I might have a little corner somewhere. I plan on packing pretty light. We're going to be selling the all of the Aero products, probably everything that Liberty can sell. Sure. They will also be selling. I might even have a couple copies of the Revolt book, because I know I've got a few left over. I over ordered, but I didn't over order to sell for retail, but I might take a few copies anyway, just to see if they'll move.
Make sure and keep me a copy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I know mine's going to come over in a bulk.
In a bulk. Yep.
In a bulk with a whole bunch.
No. You're gonna really like the way the book came out. You're gonna really love it. I'm still
really happy with
surprised
them.
at how good. I don't know. Everybody's books are looking so sexy lately. I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Well, that's when we got the books, and that was a whole nother, like I said, someday we'll do a big episode about the craziness of what happened. The one saving grace when we got those pallets in finally was unboxing them and looking at the quality of the publishing of the books. Really startled me. There's actually three staples on the spine.
Is that a thing? Like, I mean, it's like I didn't even notice until it was pointed out to me.
JD pointed it out to me too. And I said, well, really? Well, let me look.
Goes, look at this.
I guess there is.
What?
Holy crap.
What am I looking at?
Yeah.
Three staples. Ooh. That's some high-end stuff.
Look at that. Let's see if I don't think we can even pull in on that. But yeah, all of the books have 3 staples on the spine. And we're like, is that a thing? And then the next question, of course, in my mind was, you think we'd save any money if we dropped one?
I don't think so. I think that's
but
just...
apparently it was all, see, there's one there, there's one here in the middle, and there's one here on the end.
All right, very nice.
Not a lot of comics have that. Oh, and they still have a great smell to them too. Not quite the quality smell of your book, your crowdfunding. book,
really. No, but it's just
amazing.
Really funny. Like there really is a difference between offset and digital. That's for sure.
And
I was
this publisher especially. I keep saying, and I mean, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I don't think I've seen books this pretty.
Yeah.
You know, this well done, shiny, and it's not just because of my stuff.
The colors really pop. I mean,
if I were to run across this at a store, I would definitely think that they would be worth the price. You know. I mean, because it's like that back cover is just like popping. Which one?
The back cover.
Eric's cover. That back cover. Yeah, Eric does some great work.
Yeah, that is just like boom in your face. That's
and it's a really cool piece too. So.
Yeah.
So and that's what that is.
I'm looking forward to for everybody to see these books. I mean, really,
that could be a front cover somewhere.
Yeah, it really could. It really could.
Easily. We'll see if we
I'm really looking forward to everybody seeing these books, because it's like, you know what, our stuff can sit on a shelf next to anybody else's, at any time. It's like those books can really, do it.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely wasn't expecting it. Our big client wasn't expecting it. It's just that's just part of the happy problems all around.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's good. And the campaign book is even sharp that we had printed on demand.
I am still
Comics Wellspring.
Like I said, everybody's books are sexy. I mean, it's like that book still surprises me as to how good that is.
I knew they did a great product. But when I got it and got it back home, it's like, oh, this is pretty.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Really
it's like
looks
the
nice.
quality inside out, it's like the stories that I mean, I don't know, that book just really exceeded all expectations.
Well,
I'm not blowing sunshine up your ass here. I mean, it's like I really mean it, that it's like, I mean, I don't know.
It's just
like
a fun book. It's just a lot of short stories, a lot of great reading. So that's
it's
the
like,
whole
I've
idea
just been
behind doing it.
seeing this jump in the last couple of months, especially, and it's just like, wow, it really is exciting.
Definitely. It's been so much fun doing this stuff too. It's like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah,
working on stuff. Ooh, here's the next story. Like
what it is, like this is the feeling that we had when we first started this stuff.
Yes.
Back all the way back then, when we first started, and mind you, back then we were printing on newsprint and stuff like that, so.
And we thought those books looked nice, when we were doing the early Aero stuff, getting Dead World in and looking at the line work from Vince and going, oh, this is pretty stuff. But it'd be interesting to see that the same material out now under this printed like this on this paper. It'd be night and day, but it'd still be a great product.
That type of line work and whatnot on that paper. It's like just everything just comes out now.
I could see those early Dead Worlds coming out and not just black and white, but with a splash of red in the right places. Be real striking. So we had somebody on Tuesday, Cardinal and something. I can't remember the full title of the book, but he was using gray tones in black and white with splashes of red throughout. And we were offered that. I remember when we were getting it printed by Prinny. Press and Litho, same guys who printed Cerebus way back when. They're no longer around, but they said, you want to add red in there, all it takes is a little bit of color separation, but their presses could handle black and red at once. Right. So and there were a few books out during that period that took advantage of that. And so almost like Miller did that in Sin City a lot. It used red in spots in order to bring out drama and mood, and it works. It can work really well. It can be a bad crutch device if you're not careful, but when you use it strategically, it's kind of like using duo shade board. Sometimes you can get really crazy with that board because you sit there and when you're playing with them chemicals and going, oh, look at this, I can get all these different. And you see people still go a little crazy here and there with Photoshop. A little too much to the point where it's distracting. Or Clip Studio.
You get a little too excited with what it's capable of doing. You kind of forget you have to pull back a little bit. I'm guilty of that just as much as I think it's a phase we all go through, honestly. We learn something new and then we kind of go buck wild with it, and then it's like, oh, okay, now to do it correctly.
Empyrean says, look, I'm not saying anything, but I have a full 12 staple collection. That is the envy of most serious collectors.
It's always the staples are always the thing.
TMNT did the black and red. Yeah, they did that on the cover of their first issue, first runs. I think first couple of printings.
Right.
Can be very effective at times. It makes it pop. Black and white and red all over. The old joke. Yeah. What?
Well,
there's multiple answers.
We're old enough to know the punchline to that.
Yeah.
Now we don't want to upset a 12-year-old or go on a canceling crusade because we told an old 40-year-old joke.
40, more than 40.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
So hey, here at 1020, let's talk comics. What's going on?
Yeah.
We've been talking about art stuff. What about everybody else's? Chat's open, folks.
Right. Speak up. Russ, what are you working on now?
Right at this moment, I'm working on Doctor Who.
Oh,
sweet.
Awesome. This week I've been, unfortunately, because Joe was ill, so I had to put the brakes on what I was doing for Outliers because I finished all the rest of the pencils, but I'll be back onto inks for that tomorrow. But in the meantime, I was doing Only Death Can Save Us pencils this week. So it's been full on, non-stop.
Right, wow.
How's book 2 coming?
is the Doctor Who like a regular thing, or you're
No,
just filling in for somebody?
No, they wanted to do something new, and they're doing some original stories. And this is from one of the writers from the show, and it was over 2 issues, and I had to do 4 pages of art for it.
Now,
So,
is this a story that they gave you from one of the writers of the show because they knew that the budget wasn't going to be able to carry the story? Because I know Doctor Who and the BBC have a really strict budgetary means.
No,
and there's so much more you can tell in comics than you can tell on film, even in CGI.
This isn't actually a comic. This is just me. It's prose, and then me
illustrated prose. Yeah,
so I'm just illustrating it. No, actually, it's I don't know. It doesn't require huge CGI or anything like that. It's quite a natty little typical Doctor Who story. Actually, it's very good.
So I remember way back when, and I don't recall the character's main name, but they had a Dalek hunter that I always wanted to see on film. That in fact, they did an entire collection of his stories that ran in Doctor Who Monthly, and he had a chainsaw sword I thought was really interesting. I'd really love to see that on film.
Haslam Dark or something like that.
Yeah, Absalom Dark.
Absalom Dark and Dalek Hunter. Yeah, that was a Marvel UK job.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was Marvel UK before Marvel UK went to Panini. So
as a kid running across that I thought that was pretty hot.
I really like that. So Dave Gibbons drew that.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, it would take me a while. I'm sure I still have the collection.
Yeah.
Back there, but it'd take me a little bit to find it. But
really enjoyed that. It was great. That was really enjoyable. But it's kind of like it was a proper cross between sort of Marvel and Doctor Who.
Yeah,
because for the longest time that Marvel had Doctor Who. Doctor Who is technically part of Marvel canon because of that. So that's kind of cool.
It's really a cross between Doctor Who and Conan.
Yeah,
the Marvel at the time with the barbarian type character. Yeah.
No, that was good fun. So I've been doing that today, but I just found the opportunity to finish the inks off today. I had another job as well where I had to do some covers that it's a charity up in Liverpool had done a competition where you can get yourself the kids from the local schools are involved in the competition, and I could make them into a superhero effectively.
Oh, that's cool.
So I made 6 kids I made into superheroes.
Sweet.
And, actually my daughter is flatting those today.
Cool. That's awesome.
And she'll be flatting this, and she'll be flatting Only Death Can Save Us as well.
Everybody works in this house.
Oh yeah, everybody works.
But that's great though, because especially once they grasp your color sense, boom, 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 here you go.
Well, I've had to. I've been because of the amount of work I've had this year. I've actually been waylaid. I was going to start Only Death Can Save Us book 2 last month. Right. And I haven't started it yet. I've been doing the backup work for the first 3 issues, which will be in book 2.
Don't be late on your deadline.
No, ain't gonna happen. And
I know it won't.
So I've actually set out a schedule now, and I've got it up on Google Calendars.
Yes, yep.
And I gave her the schedule today and said, right, you're doing the flats on these weeks. I've got to get a letterer to do the lettering on these weeks. Rick is already involved and has said, yes, I'm okay for doing all the scripting on the particular weeks that I've told him we're scripting. So I've got a very tight schedule. It's been honed down to the last day. So all I've got to do now is drink a lot of coffee and I'll be fine.
There you go. Yep.
We are joined by Mr. Bob.
Mr. Grant, how are you?
Hey, yeah, my
how's it going?
I came back about 25 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. So they just got the lines repaired around where you are.
Yeah. We'll see what happens now, because
it
did come back yesterday.
Storms are crazy this weekend.
Yeah, it came back for like 15 minutes last night, and then went right back out.
Yeah.
Oh, Okay. Well, let's see if that happens again. We'll see.
Well, it only
No,
takes one misplaced line. I've seen them try to get the transformers working around my house with a large pole and have them overload. Bam!
Yeah.
It's when those transformers change into cars and trucks and
Then it
stuff
gets
like
really
that. It just gets
wrong transformer.
so
Yeah,
annoying.
wrong
So
transformer.
annoying.
I've
Not the
seen
same. Not the same. Not the same.
I've seen Michael Turner try to get Michael Bay try to get the Transformers working for years, and it's just not.
That's a jumbled mess. That's a jumbled. Yeah.
No, yeah, there was a couple of storms that
Craziness.
rolled through that it was like a lightning show, and I had to shut everything off. I was like, "Oop, gotta go."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, late last night I lost the lights
Yeah.
here, but the computer I've got a back surge protector generator kind of
Right.
thing that the computers are hooked
cool.
up on, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
gotta
think
get
I
one of
need to
those.
go.
Yeah.
It's time to hit that save button, and it's time to stop
Yeah,
for the
no.
night because
No, I've had one computer blow up on me because it was the line was struck by lightning,
oof, yeah.
and it's like I turned it on and the shit literally exploded on me. I go, "Oh, what's that smell?" And then poof, and it's like, okay. So now everything gets turned off during a storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We had some nice strobe like lightning yesterday. It was
Oh yeah.
this
Mhm.
morning too. It was okay.
We've had some of the longest thunder rumbles I've ever heard. Yeah.
Huh?
Where like somebody driving a big car outside or what?
Right. Yeah.
The wife
yeah.
goes, "No, it's that's thunder."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Sounded like somebody was missing a muffler on their car.
So Varian, what are the plans for the convention? Are you going to have like actual like panels, or is streaming going to be kind of like impromptu?
At the Grand Rapids show,
Yeah.
I would. It's gonna be a mixture of both impromptu and planned. I see there's a breakfast buzz scheduled at the show.
Yeah, he called it the bright. It's really Sunday Funnies, but it's
Yeah.
it's on Sunday morning at 10. Yeah.
So I
Uh-huh.
said, "Oh, okay. Hey, I now know I'll be at Sunday Funnies."
There you go.
And we'll be on an hour later than usual, but we'll be there. Yeah, hopefully, if we can get everything to work right, it'll be good.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're.
I like the old timey looking microphones that you're taking, or at least they looked old timey to me. So
I got two different sets of microphones. I don't know which ones we're going to use yet.
right.
I'm so like, are we going to use the nice, pretty, bright ones that have like blue lights and everything, or are we going to use these old timey?
Yeah, like you go all retro.
Yeah, I was told to
use one of each.
And people say those cheap bastards don't even know how to have the same microphone. Look at them.
Someone's always going to whinge somewhere. It's just the way it is.
Exactly.
I was told to use the old microphones for Liberty. If you do a Liberty and use the old microphone, that looks like malt shops and like malt shops. Is that what you think when you think of Liberty? You think
it's kind of maybe kind of like that scene in Captain America, the first the first Avenger, where it's like he's doing the vaudeville shows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe that's what they're thinking of.
Yeah,
so you have like the old timey microphones and
it could be. I think
As long as it doesn't sound like we're talking in a 30s microphone.
Right,
Hello,
yeah,
ladies
exactly.
and gentlemen. Yeah.
yeah, as long as it doesn't sound like that. Yeah. Although maybe, I don't know, it might be
Coming to you live from the Grand Rapids Convention. Here in beautiful downtown Grand Rapids.
That's how you should begin the broadcast, I think.
That would be cool, actually.
It would have been really cool to like that'd have been like it'd be really cool if we could take that type of technology and go down to Megacon, because that has all the earmarks. That has all the earmarks of being a horrible show. And I can be like the humanity.
Well, they are going to be in the middle of a hurricane, so it's like,
We've just watched the roof fly off the building.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Oh, the humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
There's a short guy here getting beaten, and we can't understand it.
It's mayhem.
It's mayhem. Absolute mayhem here.
And I put money that even in the middle of a hurricane, people will still come out for that show. I think that people are so desperate. Yeah, the people are just so desperate to just be able to go out and do something that they're going to completely ignore hurricane warnings. to go to Orange County Convention Center.
I need to
in Florida, really, it's probably just a light drizzle.
Depending on where they are. No.
Depending on where they are, yeah.
Russ, you have to understand something. Florida does not speak for the rest of the country.
Wow.
I mean, they're really close to it. I mean, but it's like,
that sounds really politically charged when you say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Some say Texas is the same way. So.
I was about to say Texas. Yeah,
Texas is its own country, isn't it? I mean, it's bigger than.
Well, it's kind of like Vegas.
Almost. They almost were. It's so close.
It's kind of like Vegas. You go to like Vegas, and it's this one thing, and then you forget that you're in Nevada. It's like Orlando, Tampa, Miami is the same thing. It's like you're in those places, and it's like, oh shit, I'm in the South. It's like you forget about until you go into the areas in between those places.
Yeah,
you forget.
You see an alligator cross the road. It's a good reminder.
I did that.
No, that's normal. Yeah,
I did that. I went to Disney a few times, and the first time we went, it still wasn't developed. I mean, the parks were there, but the road down to Universal was still an old road,
right?
And there was there was a diner there and everything, and it was it was like normal states. But when I went back again, it all been built up. But the second time I went back, I actually went out to the swamps, and we got on a private boat and got out on the swamps, and that was a completely we met people who lived out there as well, and it was like a completely different experience. Lovely really people, but completely different, and all the animals. We were driving down the road, and there's like
the size of golf balls.
Literally an alligator walking down the road. Exactly. You think, how did that get there? The mosquitoes was like. Yeah.
But that's kind of like that's kind of like what makes the United States so unique.
That's not a bird, that's a bug.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing with Vegas. It's like, you have the casinos, and then you have the desert right there.
Yeah.
And then it's like not even down the road. You can shoot, you can go to the gun range, and shoot military style weapons.
And you go farther down the road and over the hill, there's a bunny ranch. So
right, exactly. Because remember, prostitution is not legal in Vegas proper.
But not very far away.
That's what people keep confusing there. It's like, no, it's like you have to
go
I went to counties.
I went to Prague actually for a weekend away with it was a stag do, and we ended up shooting stuff, which was quite good fun. And if we gave them an extra 150 quid, they were going to give us a bazooka.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah.
Oh,
They do that.
There
here
you
too.
go.
Yeah.
We'd spent all our money. I mean, we were shooting all kinds of stuff. One of the most fun weekends I've ever had. Quite a strange weekend as well. Some of the clubs.
How long did it take your shoulder to heal, though?
I actually shot one of the big cow, but the sniper rifles.
Yes,
the big ones. I shot one of those. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and an M16 with a laser sight, pump action shotgun, an automatic shotgun. It was a Glock. We had a Magnum. We that has got some kick in it. Jeez.
Yes.
But great fun. Great fun.
That'll break your wrist if you don't hold it.
Yeah. We had I had the chance to go to a range once and fire a variety of weapons, and that was I would never do it without an instructor.
Oh no!
Absolutely.
No.
Of course not.
I got to do yourself, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I got to use an old style Kalinsky rifle, that a bolt action, so you get the actual feel. Because if you're going to write about this stuff, you better know a little bit about it. But it took about 2 weeks for the bruise on my shoulder to heal.
It's funny how you see these films and ordinary people just pick up guns and start using them. It's like,
that's not how that works.
Look,
especially the sideways one.
I'm gonna pop a cap in your ass.
Yeah.
Right. It's like meanwhile in reality their wrist would be broken. But yeah, look, they don't even portray Photoshop correctly on these shows. They're not portraying anything correctly on these shows.
I had an email from someone,
but it's only 2 pixels. Now it's high resolution.
No, enhanced. Yes, we know that person. We've seen them before on the CCTV. Yeah, I got emailed the other day with some product saying it was going to make my life easier to draw comics.
Oh,
yeah, that went straight in the bin.
Right. I thought maybe it's like, oh, did they send you a robo vacuum?
Robo vacuum. I would love a robo vacuum.
I think it's funny.
Robo vacuum will change your life. Yes,
I want a robo vacuum, and I want my cat to have a shark costume.
Those robo vacuums, I don't know if I can do it because I want one. But
no, you should. You should. I have especially if you have the dogs and stuff, because
I got a bad case of like neighbor envy though. If my neighbor gets something and I'm like, it's better than mine.
Oh no!
And he just went and got this new one, and it cost him. I think he told me it was $14.88.
What he spent $1,400?
Yeah.
Get the Hoover out. Do it yourself.
I hope my wife doesn't find out. And I'm like, can I see it? And he it's very nice. Now this one is the one it returns to the charging base by itself.
They all do.
Right.
They all do.
It has a bag in it. It sucks itself like out.
Well then, I guess now I understand why it's $1,400. Well, you just killed Randy. Penny. Randy just died.
You said that just as I took a sip of coffee. We can't. There's no way we can do these shows from now on without thinking about our sponsor. You know.
So what does the bag do, sir?
Oh my God!
Even if it gets full, it goes back to the machine. The machine sucks the dirt out of it again, and then it goes back to do its job.
That's very clever.
Yeah, $14.88.
Oh, so I guess there's a bag on the charger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, bag at the charging station.
So does that count for robots? Does that count as like an inter-office relationship?
Probably.
Yes, probably.
I'm not doing that vacuum when I leave.
But it sounds a little complicated, though. I mean, just get it. You can get a less expensive robo vac, and it'll pretty much do the same.
I just don't have carpets downstairs. It's much easier.
Right. Well, that's true too. But it's also good on bare floors. So because the cats are always dragging around cat litter everywhere. So you moral of the story: robo vac will change your life. Yes. So what was this thing?
We all know those bare floors could be grisly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, they really can be.
Imagine, his is nice. It controlled by internet, controlled by Alexa. Can you imagine if you do get freaky with it? Alexa, it's time.
You know what? At this point, the way these products keep snitching on us, on each other. I mean, it's like, I swear, it's like my mom has her phone, her computer, and her television set all conspire against her. It's like she just mentions something, and all of a sudden the TV is showing advertising for it.
I turn them all off.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like. I mean, we try to. I mean, we think we're turning we turn off the microphones and this, but no, they still collect that data, and they
have to pull the plug.
They share it with each other.
You have to pull the plug on these things. I'm paranoid completely.
It's pretty crazy how that works.
Ah, there you go. Look at that.
Oh, all right, seen that. Right. Yeah, that's
your monsters are incredibly distinctive. Like that's when you were doing Shield of the Interceptor. It's like I didn't I didn't know it was you. I was skimming through it.
Yeah.
Until I saw the monsters, and I go, "Oh, is this Russ?" And then I went back and saw your name on. It's like the monsters. Like if there's something that's stylistically you, it's your monsters.
Monsters. I've got to make some new monsters now. No, there's there's going to be some new stuff hanging out in the in issues 4, 5, and 6, which is book 2. There's oh, there you go. That was the one.
Oh, look at that.
It's like it's the monsters and the fact that every panel that you draw if it has less than 37 people in it, it's not real. Because the story that you had in Indie Revolt, it's like, oh, this is Russ a mile away. Look at that. Every panel, 37 people.
37 people. You know what I'm
the panel is 2 inches by 2 inches, and there's 37 people in it.
About 10 years ago, I'd have loved to have inked this. Just loved to have inked it.
Now I've got to ink it. But yeah, so it's on its way. That stuff is going to be in book 2 as well as in the first 3. But I've also got 3 more of those for book 2, which will be in issues 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And I think I've thumbnailed most of the first part, so that'll be issue 4. It's all scheduled in. It's getting there.
Yes, we all do, sir.
We all do. I need more. Only death can save us. Yeah, yep.
Can't wait.
Jake approves.
Can't wait to get involved in it again, because obviously I've been on the superhero stuff for Joe, which I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But I've got to ink that stuff. So I've got to be finished by September 1st. So I've got 24 pages of inks and 7 pages of Only Death Can Save Us inks and a cover. And it's all going to be done by September 1st, but it'll be done.
There you go.
Varian Trico says Varian in the ER. I don't know what happened. I was just walking around naked and fell on the robo vacuum and got stuck.
Did you see the video of the woman who got her hair? She was sleeping on the floor and the vacuum sucked up all her hair, and the machine got completely stuck on her head.
It's like that. It's like that. Is it The Last Boy Scout? When he was talking to his mate, and he'd had an affair with his wife, and she said, "Oh, it was one of those things. I didn't mean for it to happen." He said, "Oh yeah, that's it." He said he fell over and accidentally got your dick stuck in my wife.
Right, exactly.
It's just one of those.
That's not how it works.
I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't have sex with that robot. I just fell over and accidentally got my cock stuck in there." It was
tripped, failed, and landed on it. That's all.
Yeah. It just happened to go in the hole. Yeah. And it was on suck, not blow.
Yeah.
Well, it is a vacuum.
Go.
Sugar Chris says Rick Grimes on Walking Dead with his Colt Python irritated me. 57 Magnum, all lint wristed and headshot and gauze zombies one handed, no problem.
No, yeah, we all have this. We all have this little picadillo that we're watching movies and it's like it's like we're all like what the heck, It's like for me it's the whole enhance button with Photoshop. When my sister lost her mind watching Doctor Strange because she works she saw like the medical facility and he was using the wrong type of gloves for surgery and she just completely walked out of the room. She was so enraged. So it's like that was it. That's all it took. The wrong gloves,
See, that's it. See, I write about mythical monsters and
exactly.
Big elemental beings kicking the living crap out of them. Nobody knows how to do that. Nobody.
Right, exactly.
So much easier that way. Yeah. I'm a big stickler for continuity errors. It drives the wife crazy because I'll stop, especially when we're watching a soap opera or whatever. Stop and rewind and go see that, and then look, it's gone. It's a magic piece or whatever that they supposed to get. I love catching that stuff in movies.
Like having Starbucks.
All the water bottles on Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Like short hair, long hair, short hair.
That was it. Didn't they have a Starbucks coffee cup in one?
Yeah. People had left stuff behind on set. So, Varian, what's your picadillo that makes you lose your mind when you're watching something? Well,
anytime I'm telling you right now, anytime because I watch a lot of Law and Order.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Anytime they have artists or especially comic book artists on a movie or show, it is the worst representation of us I have never seen. It's the most non-flattering. They're normally like, hello. They're extremely introverted to the point of like Yeah, no, it's like this human cannot function in life. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
Where it's like whenever a mainstream television channel does a news piece on comics, so like somebody drew something or locally, or somebody's got this new graphic novel out, and for some reason they know someone at the station, so they get their story on, and it always starts with pow, bam, crack.
Yes,
and it's just like, oh, come on.
Yep. The old Adam West explosions, because they have that in their head. That's what a comic book is.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this though. Law and Order did do us right the very last time. They had a comic book artist on. And this guy was drawing he was drawing a comic. He was drawing comics. And now that I'm about to say this, I'm like, those sons of bitches. I didn't think about it now. Now that I didn't think about it at first, but he was drawing comics based on a serial killer that was going around. And the Law and Order gang thought it was wrong for him to do that, but he was like, "Hey, I have my right." Now I think about it, I'm like, "Wow, that was hard." But on top of that, though,
it probably was. They probably had the thing not based on, like the following episode is not based on any, it's a fictional recount and not based on any real event.
But they brought the guy back like the next season, and he had sold the rights to the comic to a streaming service. And they bumped into him, and he's like, "What?" Because it was like a big series. And I had a video game, a TV series, and he was like depicted as the biggest sellout ever. And I'm like, "Man, that's okay. That right there.
We were okay with that.
Yeah. That's us. That's us.
How much like real life?
Yeah.
Except that in real life, comic book artists don't actually get paid bugger all for when they do sell something.
Very true.
So you might say it's not about, oh, this is my intellectual property and I must keep it safe. I must have it. It's like, no, nobody's going to pay you enough.
Right.
Nobody's going to pay you enough. I love what I'm doing. I love my book. I love the character that I've created. I want to do that kind of stuff. I really like the old cosmic Stalin, Kirby, Buscema stuff, Stanley. I love it. Absolutely love it. But if somebody offered me £1 million, I'd go, yeah, who wouldn't? Because if I got that, I'd be able to walk away and start something else and do something new with it, create a new character, whatever. But they ain't gonna give you £1 million. It doesn't work like that. You'd be lucky if you get 10 quid.
I'll take £1 million. That's more.
There we go.
I'll take £1 million. I want to show you, Randy. I have a new catchphrase. It says, Randy Zimmerman, owner of Aero Comics and Varian Grant Liberty Distribution Service, are two grizzled veterans of the independent comic book.
Grizzled veterans.
We're now grizzled veterans.
I'm a grizzled veteran.
Grizzled. Okay, maybe Randy is grizzled. I don't know about you,
Sometimes I really feel grizzled. I'll tell you that.
Sometimes I feel grizzled.
Marion, you baby compared to a lot of us.
I'd say Randy is grizzled and Varian is griddled. I think that's the way
we are. Yeah.
I'm still working on my second set of calluses on my hands.
Oh, there you go.
Our calluses.
I'll be a grizzled veteran. All right. Yeah. Get away from me.
The rest of you remember when I could feel the side of my finger? Remember that when I could?
You're still a little too optimistic.
Yeah.
We still have to beat that out of you.
Jake asks if you've seen the Hawaii Five-0 episode that had a comics episode. Real cool. I don't remember that at all, and I've seen all of them. So.
He might be talking about the new one.
I watched all the new run.
Is it any good?
I don't know.
It's all right.
Okay. I don't want to watch anything.
I don't watch TV. I don't watch. It's if it's not in 30-second snippets online, I'm not watching it.
It's not the kind of show
that.
It's not the kind of show that I would say, you have to sit down and watch every episode. It was really brain check material, and a lot of times it was pretty crazy, outlandish, and sometimes it got a little sappy, gung ho.
Right.
Military type, we're going, we're going to rescue the day, and of course they were going to do it, but it's not something that I would tell everybody to binge. It's not like a Babylon 5 or anything like that.
There you go. Now you're talking TV.
Blake 7, where I tell everybody you have to sit there and watch it, because it's even if it's old and the effects are practical and cheap, it's worth your time.
I never got on with Blake 7.
Oh, Blake 7 is amazing.
I liked it because
Yeah.
you know, when I was a kid, there was hardly any sci-fi on the telly, so
Right,
I
right.
consumed it. Maybe I should revisit it. It's just
The thing that makes Blake 7 though isn't that it's science fiction and not because of the overall themes. It's because the characters on the show, especially Avon and
Ivan was brilliant.
The other timid dude, were perfect. Just phenomenal. And Avon was Avon. I mean, that is one of the rare solid characters that you see on television. It's amazing to see. They have whole videos you can hit on YouTube about Avon's dialogue. Yeah. And you could tell all of these guys were stage trained British actors who come onto the scene. But Paul Darrow on the stage, when he was Avon. And you wanted an example of a cynical character, just solid, just bare cynical. But you knew after like the first couple of episodes that this guy, it was all a front to this guy. He was bitter on the surface, but underneath he was bitter because he knew he was the most heartfelt out of all of the characters.
Yeah.
And that's why he was such a popular, and Darrow did it so well. He was so popular. He made that show.
I don't think there has been an on-screen science fiction show like it since.
No. And it all comes down to the dialogue and the interchange between the characters. And there's a lot of discussion about rebellion and independence and fighting for your being an individual and that kind of thing. And it's just an amazing interplay show.
The way they finished it as well was very brave. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know they weren't coming back.
No.
So every season ended in a cliffhanger.
Did they do a Sopranos ending where it's like it just fades to black?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. Actually, and sorry, anybody out there. I know it's been out for years.
It's like I always confuse Blake 7 with Logan's Run, and 2. This is the part of the show where me and Varian are looking at you guys, going, "Oh yeah, you guys are old."
It ended with everybody in the room being executed except for Avon, and him standing there smiling at the end, and then the camera went black.
So he could have survived. They should have had an Avon series. I will give it.
Because he was the character, though. It was the whole thing. The fun with Blake 7 that made it great, especially back when it was out, was after the first season, Blake was gone.
Yeah.
And you sat there and went, "What?" And then Avon carried the show literally after that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he wasn't the lead, but he was the lead, was the cool part about it. And he bounced off of everybody else on that show just brilliantly. The writing on that is, at the time, was way ahead of its time. You don't see characters like that very often, especially on a science fiction show. Very rare. Yeah. A lot of fun. A lot of, they were definite characters. Sorry.
I
talk about it for a while. The closest you get really after that in characterizations, Babylon 5, where some of these characters were really written as characters instead of just pieces on a chessboard where they're moving along for the plot.
Babylon 5 reminded me of Lord of the Rings
in a lot of ways.
Because it had history to it that was not on screen. And you believed in the characters. They were all unique to each other. There was no cut and paste involved. And then right at the end, there was this massive circle to it all. That kind of, and then you felt lost when it ended. Yeah. So I felt all those things with Lord of the Rings. It was very good show. Very good show.
Epic television. Epic. It's an epic property. Yeah. I wish Blake 7 had gone on a couple more seasons, because I think that you would have seen a lot of that switch around.
So Varian, you were about to say something?
Sorry, V.
Well, no. I was gonna say, when you guys have canceled television shows, some shows are better not getting off the ground.
Yeah.
However, Brandon, host of Pitches Be Crazy, thought that he was going to upset me the other day by sending me a message. "Hey, Varian, looks like your girl is out of Powerpuff Girls. Chloe Bennett who played Quake in Shield. She's exited the Powerpuff Girls series after filming the pilot twice. She said,
"Well, there are certain shows that shouldn't exist." Though.
Yeah,
and
here's
some people. Some people actually have standards.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not sad. I am relieved.
Yeah,
she should be as far from this series as possible. She should have her ass working on some more Marvel stuff. I've got a crush, and I need to see her back in the MCU promptly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody seems to be running back, you know.
Well, that's because they can't make any money. I was like, everyone except Scarlett Johansson, guys, because if you haven't heard, Scarlett sued Disney, and when you screw Disney, they shut down every project she had.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
But the thing is, though,
it's not. But the thing is, though, it's not that she's wrong, though. Because Disney has been going on this weird rampage where it's like, well, because we're buying up all these companies, contracts don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney does because they're doing the same thing with Alan Dean Foster with his Star Wars books that he wrote, where they bought the publisher, so they got their books back, but now they're saying they have no obligation to pay him any more royalties on the books. Even that the
that's going to go through
is,
the courts.
is now null and void. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, it's going through the courts. But you know, so that's
and you watch before a firm judgment is made, they'll settle out of court real quick.
Yeah, because they want to avoid that precedent.
Yep.
You know, and it's the same thing with Scarlett Johansson. It's like, look, it's like your opinion on the actress is completely irrelevant to the point. It is completely irrelevant to the fact that this is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate trying to screw her out of her money that she earned and has a right to. You know, so it's like regardless of whether
she's an actress. I don't know that she earned it.
You know, I mean, but you know what? It's like, but again, it's precedent because it's like what it is that this was the money she was that she agreed to with the company that they were going to pay her, and now they're saying no, we don't have to pay you that money.
Yeah, and that's just wrong.
And they're doing that to everybody. You know, that's the thing. I mean, it's like, it's kind of stupid having to come to the defense of a fucking millionaire, but like, you know what? Disney will step on your neck too.
Oh yeah. They'll step on everyone's neck. Yeah,
exactly. So
I people were shouting like, how dare they shoot down, stop all her projects she had and sever ties with her. I'm like, well, when someone sues you, that tends to happen.
Exactly. That's exactly.
But it's
also Randy,
a bit messy.
Red Dwarf. The Ninja says Red Dwarf. I still got to peep the series.
Yeah. Randy should be very happy. Marvel's What If premiered. The Captain Carter episode is first.
Yeah, I sat and watched it this morning.
Yeah, what'd you think?
And it was quick. They should have called her. They should have called her Captain Britain, and they never did. They couldn't. They didn't have enough. Well, we're a TVMA DLSV. They didn't have the balls to do it, and they should have. Yeah. Some of the scenes were really good. Some of it was obviously rotoscoped and was a little painful, and some of it was animated and really fun to watch. I loved What If when it was out, so I hope it does really well. And Haley Atwell. What can I say?
Yeah.
You know what I thought after watching it? I said I like to play in that world a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of the what ifs that were cool. Yeah.
But I think that's the whole point of the show. Now it's like they're getting audiences used to the fact that they can play like this with the properties. So then this way, me being the cynical ass that I am, they don't have to dedicate themselves to certain actors. And it's like, oh, we're going to switch out actors, and it's like, and everyone's going to be like, oh, well, this is just a variant and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, oh, you see, we don't have to pay you as much because we're just going to switch you out, if you get uppity. So, oh, it's a multiverse thing. So that, that's really.
Yeah, I tend not to get too uptight about the Marvel films, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they're not 616 as far as I'm concerned.
It's just not real life.
It's not real life. It's not the comics. It isn't the comics I read as a kid. It isn't even the current comics, to be honest. Whenever they do try to connect them up, I don't do what you like with them.
Meaningless.
Either it's good quality television or film, or it isn't.
Right,
and there are objectively some less good Marvel MCU films than the other ones. Not all of them are great.
Yeah.
So, just be selective, but watch the stuff you like.
It was
exactly.
a shame that the show is a half hour, but I understand that they had to because of restrictions and animation thing. But there isn't enough dramatic general audience animation out there, in my opinion. And there needs to be a lot more. So What If was really cool from that aspect. It's one of my favorite cartoons of all time, is the first season of Johnny Quest.
Right.
Because that's evergreen. It holds up for, you can still watch it today and love it just as much as you did when you were a kid. It's one of those few properties that you can actually do it with. But the with the multiverse stuff, I always felt that DC's biggest blunder was Crisis. Their biggest mistake was narrowing everything down to one Earth, because it was so much fun keeping track of who was on each Earth and which character's history happened on each individual part of the multiverse.
I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about that.
The Justice League, Justice Society crossovers used to be a really big thing once a year, because you never really knew what was going to happen. And for example, they had, my favorite is around 103 to 106, I think, of Justice League, where Red Tornado had been transferred from Earth 2 to Earth 1, the robotic Red Tornado. And he wanted to get back. And they had figured out a way to swap people for a bit of time through like a transporter. So they were going to swap 3 and 3 from Earth 2 with the Justice Society, and they had it all arranged up to do. I don't know how they communicated between Earths, but they did it. And Red Tornado wanted to get back to Earth 2 so bad that he snuck in the back of the machine and apparently spun so much that he was invisible. And that it threw all 7 of the characters over onto another Earth, which was Earth X, which actually had all of the quality characters on it. Right. And the Nazis had won the war.
Oh, cool. Well, it's not cool, but you know what I mean. It's like, it's a cool premise for a film.
But you had what was originally the Freedom Fighters, Uncle Sam, Phantom Lady, Human Bomb, Condor, and Ray, and Dollman, all there still fighting in the underground. And then they remorsed over the fact that the Blackhawks and Plastic Man had passed, because the Nazis had taken them out, but they were they were controlling everybody by mind control devices in different parts of the world. So they all split up into different teams in order to destroy the devices before they worried about going back to their own Earths.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
That's Crisis on Earth X. If you ever get a chance to see that. But,
are they not back to multiple Earths now, though?
Yeah, they are now. Yeah. But it was such a mistake to do Crisis, because they went through and whittled everything out, and then realized that they had to stick to one timeline, which was like, well, you couldn't have Wonder Woman back then because you got Wonder Woman now. You can have Superman back then because you got Superman now, and all of this. But the fun part about
Earth is ridiculous, because it's like they're cartoon characters. You can do whatever you want.
Well, the fun part about Earth 2 and the Justice Society was they had all of these characters from the Golden Age that were growing older, and you were actually seeing a second generation of heroes come in. You had Power Girl, Huntress, the Star Spangled Kid got a hold of Starman's star rod or whatever, and was using it, and which transformed, evolved eventually into Stargirl. But that was part of the fun of the old All-Star Comics Justice Society, is you got to see these characters older as they were aging and having problems. The Flash couldn't move as fast as he used to because he was losing his speed because he was getting older. Batman had married Catwoman. Selena Kyle fell madly in love, had a daughter who became the Huntress. And you had all of the descendants happening, and these older guys. Dr. Fate, of course, was eternal, but he was having a problem because Kent realized he wasn't aging. The Dr. Fate character, the helmet, was keeping him alive and keeping him immortal pretty much, and that had become a problem because he wanted to age and like everybody else around him, and was starting to get tired of being immortal. But you had all of these other problems, plus you had on the All-Star comic, you had great writers like Paul Levitz, and that's where Joe Staton had a big run on, and Bob Layton had a big inking run on. It just and Wally Wood got to create Power Girl over there as their version of Supergirl. Was Power Girl on Earth 2. It was just Robin had grown up and he'd stayed being Robin for whatever reason, hadn't quite turned into Batman. But even in the crossovers, Robin had a more adult costume and had a little bat symbol with an R in the middle of it, and although he still kind of kept his weird colors, but he had a different outfit. And the Justice League Justice Society used to cross over every year, and that was always something everybody looked forward to. But when Crisis happened, all of that went away.
I can go back and buy loads of old DC stuff then.
Yeah.
Well, that's what everyone's doing right now.
Yeah, it is.
Buying old comics.
Yeah, DC has kicked out a couple of the Crisis collections with those crossovers in it. They've reprinted all of them into bound volumes, and they're all fun to read. There's
Wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
There's an entire run on Justice League with Dick Dillon and Dick Giordano, and I don't remember I think Englehart was doing a lot of writing back then, where every year the crossover was great. They crossed over with the Legion, they crossed over with the Freedom Fighters, like I said. That started the Freedom Fighters book. They all jumped over to Earth 1, and then Crisis happened, and who knows where they went. Cool. But they jumped over to Earth S once with the at least got involved with them with the Earth with the Fawcett characters, most of which were in public domain. Technically they hadn't been used in so long. Bullet Man, Minuteman, Bullet Girl, Spy Smasher, those characters. It was always a fun part of my youth, was looking forward to that. And when also that crossover really brought on the Avengers Defenders fight that they did over at Marvel. And that for me as a kid was everything. Couldn't wait to get to the drugstore to get that comic to see, oh my God, Mantis is fighting Doctor Strange. It's going to be amazing. Or Swordsman's fighting Valkyrie. I can't wait to see it. That kind of stuff. So as a kid, those team ups were always really some of my favorites.
Team ups.
And the funny thing is, and to end the show the way we started it, and that's why Paragon stands out the way it does.
Yeah.
Coming soon from Aero Comics and the redistribution.
Thanks. But yeah, it's just there's so much classic material back then. It's the same thing with the Aparo run on Brave and the Bold and all of those old Marvel team ups, the one and dones. There's a lot to be said about that, There's a lot to be said to be able to pick up a book and brain check, lose yourself for a few minutes and get yourself involved with a couple of characters, even if one of them you didn't know about. Everybody knows who Batman and Spider-Man were, but a lot of times they would cross over with characters like Moondragon and Ms. Marvel that you weren't all that up on,
Well, that was
Marvel 2-in-1 was the same thing. Yeah. Go ahead.
That was how they introduced new characters. Put them on a run with Spider-Man or something. Yeah. And that's the way to do it.
Or reminded you that, this guy's book's a little weak. I guess we'll have him cross over with Spider-Man next issue as soon as possible and help boost the sale of his book. So there'd be a little couple of hints about the guy's storyline, or the characters, villains or whatever would pop over or bleed over into that.
Issue 6, Ed.
Bump the sales. Yeah. A lot of editor notes.
Yeah.
Those were always fun too.
Love that.
As we all remember back in, Green Lantern #3, that kind of thing. Your editor in chief. Smiling Stan or whatever.
I don't remember any of that.
You don't. It was all before your time.
No. I don't remember.
Now everything's part 1 of 6, and good luck trying to find them all. Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, this happened in issue so and so," I'm like, "Hey, did it? Because I don't remember that. And I had that issue. I think it's a shitty writer." I don't recall any of that.
Well, with the team ups, especially the Justice League Justice Society team ups, every year, every new writer that came on seemed to have a different take. Because there was one point that they were explaining that time on Earth 2 was moving slower than on Earth 1. And that didn't hold up past that story. That Robin, these characters from the 40s weren't really 80 years old. They were only like in their late 50s or 60s. Because time was moving a little bit slower than it was on Earth 1. They also went through and explained and a lot of these ideas are being carried over now that everybody has forgotten them. Somebody goes back and reads an old comic and comes up with this. There was a big theory for a while, and I think Englehart pushed this because these characters ended up on Earth Prime one time that didn't have any heroes, and then a hero pops up. And they said, oh, if a hero is going to pop up, then a villain has to pop up because there has to be a balance. So there's a constant balance between, somebody gets cosmic, so a hero pops out that's cosmic. Suddenly a villain pops out that's cosmic in order to fight him. And that there's always that balance working in there. And that was always a weird concept to me. That was a story that was started in the Justice League or pushed forward in the Justice League a long time ago. Because they ended up taking that character. If I remember the story correctly, they had a quick debate. They grabbed that hero and brought him back to Earth 1 in order for that Earth Prime not to have any major supervillains. Wrap your head around that one. Hey, you're on the wrong Earth. Come on.
Right.
Holy crap, you're super powered. We got to get you off of this Earth before a supervillain pops up.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was like a concept that was
Heaven forbid you're going to build your own rogues gallery. Yeah.
Yeah. That I remember from what was it, the Bryan Singer Batman, the Dark Knight, I think it was, where it's like at the very end they're talking about like Commissioner Gordon is telling Batman, it's like, because you exist, we're going to have a problem, right?
Yeah,
because now the Joker exists.
Oh, the Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But that was an idea that was
Singer?
Nolan.
That was Nolan. Okay.
Nolan, Singer's X-Men.
That was an idea that was propagated a couple of decades before that in the comics.
Yeah,
because I don't even remember the character's name. They ended up grabbing him and pulling him back over to Earth 1. He didn't survive very long on Earth 1 because the next writer didn't like him, so they aced him. So, oops! Now you're dead. Anyway,
don't get on the wrong side of a writer.
Yeah, exactly.
Russ, tell folks where they can find you.
Without doxing myself.
Exactly.
I'm Russ Leach. I live here. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt, where you can see how I draw stuff. And although I was not around on Monday, I drink and draw on a Monday evening most of the time. When Joe's back to his full self, I will be on a Thursday with Joe Fulton talking comics and hanging out with these guys. Sometimes on a Sunday, sometimes on a Thursday, but they'll be away this Sunday, so I'll be watching them. I will be watching, always watching. You can also find me at russleach.com, comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out about my book, Only Death Can Save Us, onlydeathcansavus.com, which will be released at the end of this month via Aero Comics and Liberty. There you go. There's a lovely floppy version of issue 1. And book 2 is actually currently in production. And there'll be a campaign for that starting October 1st. I think that's about it. If you get onto my website, please sign up for the email list so I can tell you about the new book and what's happening. I think that's about the lot. Find me on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the Minds, and on the Instagram. And if you can subscribe to my channel, it'd be very nice. Thank you very much.
Great. Daphne, tell folks how they can find you.
Sure. You can head on over to my main portfolio site, egoworks.com, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly hang out on Facebook, where you can find links to my current Kickstarter for Tall Tales Volumes 1 and 2, collecting issues combined, collecting issues 1 through 10 of the series that pretty much started my career. So you can head over there and support the campaign. Thank you very much. And you can also check out my YouTube channel, where you can check out videos on how I make these comics. And if you stay on egoworks.com, you can read the first 5 issues of Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, in its original black and white format. And also there is a link to the pre-launch page for that campaign that's going to be launching for issues 1 through 3 on Kickstarter September 20th. So so head on over to my main portfolio site, where you're going to find all the information to all my artwork, all my campaigns, all my social medias and everything. So
the Ninja says, I'm a Captain Carter fanboy, almost un-American. Says, and the Hydra Stomper was amazing. You have to watch the episode to see that. But it would have been interesting to see. I was ready for that show to run another half hour, because she time leaps like Captain America does, and it would have been fun to have seen the version of Avengers on her world, because the technology had made an advancement.
You still might. Who knows?
On that episode, yeah, still might. Varian, tell folks how they can find you.
KYD_V on Twitter. Varian Grant pretty much on every other social media network. This week, trying to find me. Not a good week. I'm busy con prepping. You can come down to Grand Rapids Comic Con. People don't
find
understand.
You there.
Yeah, con prep, especially after you've been off for a year and a half.
Yeah,
2 years.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah. So like, I gotta run. Like, as soon as I leave out of here, I got stuff to go do. There's things that I don't have. And so Varian Grant Rare social media network. Check out indievolt.com. For the latest indie news. I finally, guys, got in there, cleaned out a lot of malware that was and things that were in the site that shouldn't have been there in the indie Vault site.
It's those porno sites, bro. It's those porno sites you keep putting up on your computer.
It was when sometimes you create these sites and you use certain plugins and whatnot. Sometimes the plugins have vulnerabilities. So it was really weird because we were getting cloned by a pharmaceutical site.
Oh, it's that? Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if that was how we got our current sponsor, but that's a whole nother
right.
Yeah. It was actually it was very close. I know that wasn't how we got them though, but yeah, it was crazy because we would see, you look up Indie Vote and you'd see, dick pills, and it's like, oh man, So I finally got that figured out and cleaned out. But check. It's free to. It was never any risk to the users or the viewers of the site. It was just something
just latched on.
I'm finally up away from up under that big pile of applications I had. So yeah. Good time.
So will you be selling books that go through Liberty at Grand Rapids?
Some of the publishers have asked me to take some books, so we're gonna take some. We're gonna take some books. It asked me by permission. I don't ever want to sell these guys books without them knowing. Set up at a con.
So could it be safe to say that people can actually find Eagle Raven, Air of the First Unicorn issues 1 and 2 at Grand Rapids?
No,
that is true. They could find it. They could find it there. I can add that to the list. Yeah.
He won't sell it to them. They can find it there, but he won't sell it.
Yeah. They might find it there. You won't have it at your table, but
I will sell it to them. I will sell it. I will take Eagle Raven. I will take
good. Yes, share the love. Share the love.
All right. We will share it then. We'll have it there.
Cool.
That'll be great. A bunch of books. People are gonna make a great comic book store.
Before we go, we want to remind folks of our sponsors. Do we need to run that other sponsor that we ran on Tuesday, or is that just for Tuesday?
No, you can run it today if you want.
We want to remind folks really quickly of our sponsor. Can we? How much of a sense of humor do they have?
They have a big sense of humor. Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, folks, we just picked up a new sponsor. Here we go.
Can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with your penis?
Not right now.
A girl's gotta have her standards.
This video is sponsored by Too Hard, the #1 natural erection formula. You can never be too hard.
Wow, is it for real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. So we got the Smirnoff, we got the dick pills, all to sell comics. What are we getting ourselves into?
Hey, that's
Well, we're getting into trying to get Varian to be able to afford his bandwidth.
That's true. Yes.
We deeply appreciate them as a sponsor. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also want to point out our incredibly generous sponsors at GeminiComicSupply.com, where if you go over there now, everybody needs who runs a campaign needs Gemini mailers in order to mail their stuff out. So if you go over there and make a purchase at GeminiComicSupply.com and you use the coupon code VOLT10, VOLT10, they'll knock 10% off of your purchase. All on us, and thanks to the kind folks over there selling Gemini mailers. That's GeminiComicSupply.com, VOLT10, VOLT10 on the coupon line as you're going out of your purchase. Get a whole 10% off, and believe me, that can be valuable. So 10% is definitely 10%.
Yeah. See, 10% is It's more than I saved, but I didn't have the code at that time. So now I have the code. Yep. Best believe I'm using it.
I did. Lola said she's buying from there, so that she'll use that code. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we want to thank everybody for listening to the Breakfast Buzz this morning for the 12th of August, 2021. I've kind of been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter under Randy Zimm. You can find Aero Comics 4.0 on also over on Twitter, over on Instagram. We have a link tree to help you get to those places. And over on Facebook, we have 2 pages, one for Aero Comics 4.0 and one for Friends of Aero Comics 4.0. Excuse me, where we put up artwork and make coming announcements of upcoming books. Be on the lookout for those, definitely, for more information on what we're offering. And then Varian and I will be at the Grand Rapids Con this weekend again. We have a couple of panels scheduled, especially Sunday morning at 10 a.m., where we will have an episode of Sunday Funnies or Breakfast Buzz. We'll be broadcasting live there at 10 a.m. With some other guests, whoever we can get to sit in front of the microphone with us. So tune in for that. And again, Varian and myself will be back on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. for the Live Wire broadcast, along with many of our friends. And then we'll be back here again. Wednesday night also, Geekgasm should be on again this next week. It wasn't on last night, but it should be on this next week if everything goes correctly. And then we'll be back here again on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. All of these times are Eastern Standard Times for anybody listening to us around the world. So Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. for another episode of the Breakfast Buzz, where we'll do this again and talk about comics and whatever, and hope you have a great morning. So we wish you the best of the rest of the week, and we'll see you soon.
Stay dry and stay safe and enjoy the cons.
Anything else, Varian? Indie Volt at indievolt.com. If you want to contact us, we're always here. IndieVolt live at indievolt.com.
Yeah.
Find that card. There we are. Boom. We also have the, don't forget, IndieVolt Radio over on indievolt.com, also through Google Play and Streama and app. And you can ask Alexa nicely. She'll set you up with IndieVolt Radio. There's also the IndieVolt TV Roku channel for streaming, all sorts of wonderful things, including some of the podcasts here that might have been a little bit too intense for YouTube. So you can go over there and check those out. We're also archived over on YouTube at the IndieVolt page, and go over there, like and subscribe. We're over 1,000 members. We're just waiting for word from YouTube as to our monetization. So hopefully that'll happen soon, so we can take on super chats in order to help Varian afford his bandwidth, and so that we can really be careful, have to watch what we're saying. So. Anything else, V?
No, that's it, sir.
Liberty, ledg.us. Don't forget to tell your retailer to go there. Check it out. It is a new and different kind of distributor. Once you get past them rolling their eyes, going, not another distributor, let them know that we go direct. It's made for them. It's alternative and independent product designed to be shipped directly to them so that they can make money as quickly as possible. Because we're out there to try to help them, not to hurt or confuse them. So no 3-month ordering in advance and all of the other blah blah that you get, all of the hassles that you have with your other distributors. You don't have that with us. So just go over to ledg.us or have your retailer go over there and take a look. There's a physical catalog coming. There's an online catalog coming. We're just smoothing out a few extra or additional bumps, and everything will be up to snuff here pretty quickly, and we will be running on a regular basis, right, sir?
That's correct. We are. I'm in here now doing stuff, so a lot of work. Why didn't someone tell me?
Wow.
Yeah, you knew the job was dangerous,
Fred.
when you took it, Fred. Yeah. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take us out, and we wish everybody the best. Take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Any last words, Daphne?
Buy independent comics, especially ours.
Varian?
Try to leave this industry a better place than what you found it. And yeah, that's it. Please do that.
Please. Yes, we beg you. Absolutely. We'll see you all next time. So take care, stay safe. See you soon. We have some last minute comments here. Pops finally got into the house.
Hey, Pops.
We'll see you on this weekend, Pops. Looking forward to that. Critical Blast says it's a party. It is.
Yeah.
Yep. And Critical Blast also had a great video with the unboxing of the Revolt box. Just really appreciate that. So thank you very much. We'll see everybody soon. Take care. Stay safe.
Out.
Bye-bye.
Ciao as he goes scrambling. Once again, thanks so much to Streamline for redoing their green room area, their control room area. So it's very easier now to find these videos. So everybody take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
And we have a lot of videos. Here we go.
There we go.
Hang on just a second. There.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.